Hello. Today we will talk about an effective exercise that helps stabilize blood pressure. In addition, we will share information about what you should absolutely avoid doing when you have high blood pressure. So, what is arterial pressure and why is it so important to control it? Firstly, high blood pressure can lead to problems such as headaches, migraines, and sleep disorders. This can significantly impact our quality of life, affecting our productivity during the day, especially on a regular basis. People with excess weight are particularly prone to this condition. Conversely, low blood pressure is also not a favorable factor. It can lead to a lack of energy and fatigue throughout the day, as well as circulation problems that might manifest as cold sensations and poor hand warmth, since low pressure doesn't provide adequate blood flow. Of course, when discussing the issue of high blood pressure, it's crucial to emphasize that it can lead to very serious consequences, such as heart attacks, strokes, and so on. Why does this happen? It relates to the formation of plaques on our blood vessels. If the pressure becomes very high, the force of blood flow can push these plaques outward. Eventually, if a plaque is large enough, it can detach and block the blood vessel. When this happens in vessels leading to the heart muscle, a heart attack occurs. If it occurs in the vessels of the brain, it leads to a stroke. During a heart attack or stroke, cells of the body die and the necrotic tissues don't regenerate. In other words, when a heart attack or stroke occurs, a portion of the circulatory system in the brain or heart muscle dies permanently. This is why it's vital to monitor your arterial pressure, especially when it's high. If we're talking about high blood pressure, we're referring to a reading above 140. If we're discussing low blood pressure, it means a reading below 100. The exercise we're going to talk about today helps restore blood pressure. It's a simple walk that a person can do at any time of the day, including day and night before breakfast or after lunch. The key is to perform it regularly. How does walking affect our blood pressure? Firstly, when we move, our muscle tissue starts working, which sets our cardiovascular system in motion. Therefore, if we have elevated blood pressure, walking helps muscles contract, increasing blood flow. It's believed that for those with hypertension, rest is considered essential during high blood pressure, with lying down being a necessary option instead of sitting or walking. This belief is mistaken. A leisurely walk is the optimal solution for high blood pressure. Moderate physical activity enhances oxygen-rich blood circulation, making blood more fluid and naturally reducing pressure. If a person has low blood pressure, walking helps boost blood flow through veins and vessels, bringing pressure back to normal. But most importantly, what walking does is maintain muscle tone. When muscle mass is toned, our blood pressure remains at the right level. This is why walking is an opportunity for physical exercise without needing to visit a fitness club, wear trendy sneakers, or have a fitness trainer. We simply step outside and walk. Of course, after just a couple of walking sessions, we might not see all potential benefits, but in the long term, it yields the following results. Blood vessel walls become stronger. Lung function improves, as do tissue cells, including those in the brain. More oxygen is delivered. The immune system is being restored, stress levels are reduced, and mood is improved. Let's understand why walks are necessary for hypertension. To engage in walking correctly, several important points should be taken into account. Firstly, it is necessary to walk at a moderate pace, not too fast and not too slow. This will help avoid strain on the heart muscle, especially for hypertensive individuals whose heart is already overloaded. Secondly, the duration of the activity should be at least an hour and a half, ideally 2 hours. During this time, you will be able to cover a sufficiently long distance and derive maximum benefit from the activity. Furthermore, it's important to remember that you need to focus on your breathing and breathe deeply and evenly. There are certain things that should absolutely not be done with high blood pressure. There is a belief that blood pressure can be lowered by intensively warming up the body through folk methods of vasodilation. Among these methods are taking hot baths, or even worse, consuming alcohol. These actions should absolutely be avoided. When using such methods, blood vessels do indeed dilate for a while. However, it's important to consider that when any alcohol is consumed, there is more intensive aggregation of blood cells. This increases the risk of thrombosis formation and a further jump in pressure. Regarding hot baths or saunas, In conditions of such heating, even with a slight increase in pressure, the heart will work too intensively, creating an even greater burden on the blood vessels. Due to the rapid circulation of blood when pressure spikes, it's necessary to lower your wrists under cold water. And afterwards, you can generously moisten your elbows and the area behind the ears with cold water. It's not advisable to rapidly lower arterial pressure using a large quantity of medication. Many hypertensive individuals are convinced that rapidly lowering arterial pressure is the sole important goal of such belief. This is a mistaken notion. Pressure should be lowered gradually to avoid various illnesses. So, if you've taken half of your usual blood pressure medication and after half an hour, the reading on the sphygmomanometer has decreased only slightly, there's no need to rush and take the second half immediately. Wait until the first dose of the medication takes effect. Rapidly lowering arterial pressure is dangerous for the blood vessels in the brain. There is a common belief that people with hypertension should avoid drinking coffee. On the other hand, it's considered okay to drink black tea, but this belief is mistaken. The fact is that tea contains the same caffeine in its composition. Sometimes a cup of tea can even raise blood pressure more than coffee. However, coffee has a diuretic effect, which is why it can lower pressure by 5-10 points on the sphygmomanometer. It would be helpful if you shared in the comments how you personally lower your blood pressure. If you liked the video, please share it with your friends. This was the Health in Your Hands channel with you.